Hello everyone and welcome back to the breakdown. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a Forge server, a modded Minecraft server in Minecraft 1.15.1. We're going to be going over every single step of getting a modded Minecraft 1.15.1 server, from basically downloading the Forge files, getting that up and running, to how to even get Forge locally so you can join your server and all that. It's all going to be covered in this video, even how to get your friends to join your server. It is all covered in depth in this video. First and foremost though, I do want to mention that this is not a 24-hour server. It is a server meant for just your friends, your family, people you trust, people who you would be okay with giving the address to your house to. On top of that, it's only meant for those people because anyone with this IP, not only can they figure out where you live down the latitude and longitude coordinates via your IP address, they can also hit you offline via a DDoS attack, take you offline, basically do annoying things like that to your internet using your IP address. On top of that, this also is hosted on your own computer, and because it's hosted on your own computer, you're going to have a decent sized computer to, run this server. However, if you don't have a good computer, or you do want a public server and you want to be able to give it to everybody in the world, basically, if you wanted to, how can you do that? Well, we have a solution, and that solution is Apex Minecraft Hosting. Go to the first link down below, thebreakdown.xyz/Apex, to get an incredible 24-hour DDoS-protected Minecraft server for you and your friends. We actually love Apex so much that we host our own server, play.breakdowncraft.com, on them. So if you were looking for a great Minecraft server for you and your friends to enjoy, Apex is the place to go. They have 24-hour DDoS protection, meaning you don't have to worry about that. It is hosted on their own hardware, meaning it doesn't matter how good of a computer you have. As long as you can play Minecraft, you don't have to worry about hosting the server whatsoever. Apex is worrying about all of that for you, and they have one-click server setup. In this video, we're going to have to port forward. A lot of people find that a little complicated, and you do not have to do that with Apex. On Apex, you just get an IP and you join the server. There is no port forwarding, nothing like that. So overall, Apex Minecraft Hosting is the easiest way to host a Minecraft server. We host our own server, play.breakdowncraft.com, on them. As I said, we trust them, we love them, and you will love them as well. You can check out Apex at the first link down below, thebreakdown.xyz/Apex. Get an incredible 24-hour Minecraft server for you and your friends to enjoy, running Forge, all set up in under 5 minutes in just a few clicks. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and jump right on into this. The first thing we want to do is download Forge. Now, this is assuming you're wanting a server for just your friends and family and things like that. So what we need to do is scroll down here. You'll then see this green Download Forge button. You might be wondering how you get to this. Everything I mentioned, every single link is in the description down below, starting with Forge as the second link down below, moving all the way through our Java tutorials and everything, all the way to our port forwarding tutorial. It is all there, and all that's covered in this video, but we have tons of supplemental articles and things to help you out. So nevertheless, go ahead, go to the description down below, and it will take you here. Now, this is where you can go and download Forge. This is actually how to install Forge locally, something we will have to do in this video, and your friends will have to do to join your server, so you might want to save this tutorial for that. But nevertheless, when you're here, just click on that green Download Forge button. That will then take us off to the Minecraft basically Forge website here. Now we do want to make sure that we are on the 1.15.1 version of Forge, and as we can see here, we're on MC1.14.4. That's not what we want. So you want to come over here to Minecraft 1.15. See that 1.15 there? Click on that, and then click on 1.15.1. Then when it says MC 1.15.1 here, we're good to come under Download Latest and click on that Installer button. That will then go ahead, take us off to Add Focus, where you don't want to click anything on this page. Stop! Don't click a single thing on this page whatsoever. Stop! Hold up! Don't click anything. No, your download is not ready. It's lying. Don't click anything on this page except the red skip button in the top right. You're going to have to wait about 5 to 6 seconds for that red skip button to appear in the top right, but once that red skip button appears in the top right, go ahead and click on that red skip button. Don't click anything else other than that red skip button. When you click on it, it will then download Forge in the bottom left. Verify that it is Forge by saying that it says Forge in the download title, which it does, Forge, and it ends in .jar, so we're good to go ahead and keep the file there. Now, on Mozilla Firefox, it's going to pop up in the center of your screen and basically ask you if you want to save the file in the center of your screen. As long as it says Forge in the title, you're good to save the file. Now we can go ahead and minimize our browser here, and on my desktop, I have Forge 1.15.1. If this isn't on your desktop, it's going to be in your Downloads folder. To find your Downloads folder, you want to click on the little Windows icon. For me, it's in the top left of my screen, probably in the bottom left of your screen, that little Windows icon in the top or bottom left of your screen. Go ahead and type in Downloads. You'll then have this Downloads file folder in Windows. Click on that, and then in here you will find Forge. drag it to your desktop for ease of use. Once Forge is on your desktop, we can then go ahead and get started installing it. So to do that, go ahead and right click on it, click on Open With, and then click on Java TM Platform SE Binary and click OK. Now, if you don't have Java TM Platform SE Binary, or you do and you click OK and it doesn't work, what do? Well, we have a solution for you. In the description down below, you will find our tutorial on how to download and install Java for mods and servers. Basically, this goes over the correct version of Java that you need for Minecraft servers and Minecraft mods. Considering we're started a modded server here, you're definitely going to need this if you don't have it already. Most people probably will, but this is a very helpful article. Helped almost 1 million people with getting the correct version of Java for Minecraft. Now, if you go through this, right, you go through this tutorial and it still doesn't work, no worries. We do have a solution, which is the jar fix. Basically, this is going to make all of the .jar files on your computer work with Java once again. So that's what this is going to do, and it's going to go through basically every single step of doing that. It's a quick 3-step process to get that up and running, but this is what you need to do if installing Java does not work for you. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and minimize our browser. We can again right-click on Forge, click on Open With, click on Java TM Platform SE Binary, and click OK. Now this will go ahead and open up the Forge mod installer, but before we click OK or do anything we want to do here, we want to right-click on our desktop, create a new folder, and then we want to title that folder whatever you want. I'm going to title it play.breakdowncraft.com. The reason I'm titling it that is our incredible grief-protected survival Minecraft server. We also have custom Skyblock over there. Our medieval survival server has over 30 custom quests that you will absolutely enjoy, and our aquatic survival server has an incredible /shop-based economy. Skyblock has custom tools, OP enchantments, and just a ton of awesome other stuff there. So come play with us on play.breakdowncraft.com. But nevertheless, once you have that folder created on your desktop here, we can install Forge. So the first process of this is just clicking on Install Client and clicking OK. This should run perfectly fine. The only reason it's going to fail is if you've not played Minecraft 1.15.1 before, and if that's the case, go play it real quick, just open it up and then close out of it, and then this will work. So once this is finished here, it'll go ahead and say, success, you're good to go, boom, there we go, successfully installed client profile Forge, awesome. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. Now we want to right click on Forge again, click on Open With, click on Java TM Platform SE Binary again, and click OK. This time we're going to go ahead and install server here. So let's go ahead and click on install server. You're going to get this red warning box, and that's what we want. You want to click on these 3 arrows right here, or not 3 arrows, 3 dots. So click on these 3 dots right here. It's going to open up this kind of selector. You want to click on desktop over here on the left hand side. And then for me, it's going to be in our play.breakdowncraft.com profile or folder. So right there, you see that? There's play.breakdowncraft.com. That is our desktop. And play.breakdowncraft.com is right here. Then you want to go ahead and click open. Then your red box will go away and it'll say you're good to go. Then you want to go ahead and click OK. Now it's going to go ahead and do everything that it needs to do to get Forge servers files, all the Forge server files installed on your computer. It's going to take it a second. This is going to take longer than installing Forge itself because it's downloading a lot more files. But if you go ahead and see here, see that stuff? There's stuff now in that folder that we selected. That's because all of this stuff here is going into that folder. So I'm going to go ahead, let this finish installing, let it finish its process, and then whenever it is done, I will go ahead and continue the tutorial. So there we go. Forge just finished up. As you can see, successfully downloaded Minecraft server and installed Forge 1.15.1. Awesome. So we can go ahead and click OK. And now if we open up our new folder here, this play.breakdowncraft.com profile, let's switch our background. I feel like there's a better background there. There we go. It's easier to see on this one. But there's play.breakdowncraft.com profile. We can double click on that and open it up here. Now in here, as you can see, we have a Forge file and we have a Minecraft server file. It's because you need both in order to run Forge. So now let's go ahead and get this server actually set up, because at this point there's no world, you can't install mods on it or anything like that. So what we want to do that is go ahead and first find this Forge basically .jar, Forge 1.15.jar, right? We want to right click on that, click on rename, and then we want to rename this to simply Forge server, right? So Forge server, all one word, exactly like that. Yours may not have .jar at the end. If it doesn't, it's going to look like this. It'll just be Forge server, right? Or, this will be the title, and then you'll rename it to Forge server, right, like so. If you want it to show .jar on the end, you can click on view up here, and then click on this file name extensions, and it will go ahead and show you the .jar at the end of all those files. It's a little quick tip that I like to include. But nevertheless, as soon as you have forgeserver.jar, it should say Forge server or forgeserver.jar. If you have file name extension selected, If you don't, it won't say .jar. If you put forgeserver.jar and it doesn't say .jar originally, it's not going to work. So you need to make sure that view file name extensions is either selected or it isn't selected. If it isn't selected, it'll just be forge server. If it is selected, it will have .jar at the end. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and right click, create a new text document. So right click, new text document. You can just leave this title, new text document, and then go ahead and open it up. Then in the new text document here, you want to type a code that can be found in the description down below. And here it is locally, but this is in the description of this video. You'll be able to go down there and have all these. Basically, this is RAM, 2 gigabytes of RAM, 3 gigabytes of RAM, 4 gigabytes of RAM, etc. And that's how much RAM you want your server to have. I'm going to go ahead and copy the 4 gigabyte code, just copy from where it says Java to pause there, and then go ahead and paste it into your new text document. It should look exactly like that. The only thing that would be different is these numbers here. And by the way, if you want to add more RAM to your server, change these two numbers to do that. But nevertheless, once you've got that, you want to go ahead and click on File, Save As, and then you want to save this as a run.bat file. So file name should be run.bat, and then save type as needs to be all files. So file name is run.bat, save type as all files, and then go ahead and click save. Now we can delete the new text document we created, and we should have this run.bat file here. Go ahead and double click on that run.bat file, and it will open up and start downloading everything it needs for a Forge server, but it will fail, right? It will fail. The reason it will fail is because we need to agree to the Minecraft EULA. Luckily, we have this EULA.txt file here. If you don't generate that and it just fails or doesn't work, your Forge server file isn't named correctly, or the code that you copied into your run.bat file isn't correct, right? It doesn't have the correct formatting. You didn't copy from Java to pause. You may have copied where it says like 3 gigabytes. It just needs to be from Java to pause there. But nevertheless, we now have this EULA.txt file. Go ahead and open that up, and as long as you agree to the EULA right here, you can change this from EULA equals false to EULA equals true. TRUE, exactly like that. So EULA equals true, right like so. Then we can go ahead and do File, Save, and now if we double click on that run.bat file, it will go ahead and actually download and do everything we need to get our server up and running, including actually generating the server, right? So it'll generate the world and all that stuff. This is going to take a minute the first time you launch it up. All servers do, but Forge servers specifically are going to take a while because it has so much new stuff that it is loading. But boom, there you go. As you can see, everything is loaded in there. It is now preparing the spawn area over here. As you can see, 13%, 17, 17, 25, 26. It's loading that up. But nevertheless, once it is finished, you will see done over here in the server console. So that's what that is. That's the server console. And as you can see, it does say done right there. You will also see all chunks saved as well. So done, all chunks saved. You're good to go. Now, at this point, your server is started up, and you could join it if you just wanted to test mods on a server or something. You could use it to do that at this point. But at this point, your friends can't join your server. So how do we allow your friends to join your server? Well, let's go ahead and type stop over here, STOP, in the server console, and hit enter. When you do that, it's going to go ahead and shut down your server, and then you'll see press any key to continue. So what we need to do to allow our friends to join the server is port forward. Luckily, we've helped millions of people port forward. I would say probably over 3 million people at this point port forward their Minecraft servers. So we are pretty versed in it. We've got tons of articles to help you. Make sure you can log into your router, walk you through the porting process on your specific router. We've got it all here. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. First and foremost, we need to click on the little Windows icon. For me, it's going to be in the top left. For you, it's going to be in the bottom left of your screen. That little Windows icon, the top or bottom left. When you click on that, go ahead and type in CMD, right like so. You'll then have this command prompt app here, right? Go ahead and click on command prompt. And then in here, what you want to do is type in ipconfig. ipconfig, exactly like that, and hit enter. It will then give you all sorts of information and just tons of crazy stuff. But all you need is 2 strings of numbers from here. So what I'm going to do is open up a notepad document. And then in this notepad document, I'm just going to copy over these numbers. So the first number we need is our IPv4 address. Luckily, if you come over here, you'll see it clearly identified. The IPv4 address is right here. Mine is 192.168.1.123. Yours may be completely different from that. And if it is, that is a-okay and perfectly normal. So if your IPv4 address is different from mine, no worries. Default gateway is our next thing. Now, as you can see, if you come over to default gateway, you're gonna be like, that's a lot to type, FE80::. No, that's not what we want. We just want the simple number under it. So in our case, it's 192.168.1.1, but yours may be completely different. What you're looking for is the default gateway and just the simple numbers. If there's any letters in there whatsoever, that's not the correct one. Just get the one that has numbers. So let's go ahead and type in default gateway, right like so. And then we want to type in the default gateway right here. So 192.168.1.1 over here from basically the command prompts that we're copying it from. So we've got our IPv4 address and default gateway there. We can go ahead and close out of the command prompt. Now let's go ahead and port forward. To do this, you want to open up your browser, click on a new tab, just open up a brand new Google Chrome tab, and then you want to take that default gateway that you just got, right? Take that default gateway, copy it, come over here and paste that default gateway into your basically search bar up at the top of your browser where you would normally enter in youtube.com or the breakdown.xyz or something like that. That is where you want to enter that in. And then once you're here, you want to go ahead and you'll have some sort of a login box. Now for me, mine is right here. Yours may pop down from the top of the screen. It might be in the center of your screen. Most likely yours is going to look completely different from mine here. And if it does, that's no worries. You still just need to enter in the login information. How do you get the login information? Well, luckily we have an in-depth tutorial on how to find your router's password here. It goes over 5 different methods of finding your router's username and password. Goes through it all here, all the way down to contacting your ISP, but most people find their username and password by method 3 here, and they are logged into their router. So go ahead, go through this tutorial really quickly to log into your router. If you already know it, go ahead and enter it, and then we will be able to continue the tutorial and port forward. Now, when I log into my router, it's most likely going to look completely different from the router that you have. I mean, completely different. It won't look the same at all. Unless you have a Linksys Smart Wi-Fi router, you are not going to have this set up at all. But that's perfectly fine because we have a tutorial linked in the description down below on how to port forward. Specifically, we have this video right here. And this video right here will teach you how to port forward on the top routers on the market today. From Linksys to Netgear to Cisco to AT&T to Verizon, it is all covered in that video. And even if your specific router isn't mentioned in that video, still watch it because only 3 or 4 companies make most of the routers in the world. And because of that, it's going to be very similar. Your router is going to be very similar to one of the routers in this video, even if it isn't exactly the same. And what that means is that you are going to be able to get the terms and the location and things like that that it is on your router from this video. So I would recommend watching this no matter what. Nevertheless, whenever you have went through that tutorial, you can come back over here and I'm going to give you some of the terms and things like that that you are looking for whenever you are port forwarding. So for us, it is in security. For you, it may be in advanced, it may be in advanced, it may be in apps and gaming, it may be in port forwarding / port triggering, it may be in NAT forwarding, NAT forwarding, it may be in NAT gaming, NAT gaming, it may be in NAT triggering, NAT forwarding / triggering. There are so many different options. For you though, it's probably in the advanced tab or the advanced tab or something like that, or it could also be in the security tab, right? So for us, it is in security. Then it is in, what was the name that I said it could be? Apps and gaming? That's correct, and guess where it's at? Apps and gaming. Then we have to click on single port forwarding. So as I said, it could be port forwarding, single port forwarding / port triggering, NAT forwarding. It could be in apps and gaming. It could be in apps and forwarding. It could be in so many different things, but overall you're looking for port forwarding. Now, when you do find it, you'll have basically a setup like this. Now, for me, I have to click add a new single port forward. For you, you may just have a list of boxes all the way down the screen. Now, in the first box here, it's going to be something like an ID or an application name. I'm just going to go ahead and name this Minecraft. Basically what that is it identifies what the port forward is for. Then for your external port or internal port, outside port, inside port, anything to do with the word port whatsoever, you want to just enter 25565, right like so. 25565, external port, internal port, doesn't matter what it is, you want to port forward 25565. So we have external port, we see that word port, guess what we're doing? We're putting 25565 there. For internal port, guess what? The word port is there. What are we doing? Putting 25565 right there in that port. Now for protocol, we want to do TCP UDP, or we want to do UDP/TCP, or we want to do both. Either way, we want to make sure both UDP and TCP are selected. If for whatever reason you can't do both, most of the time you should be able to, but if whatever reason you can't, you want to go ahead and do it twice, 2 port forwards, once for TCP and once for UDP. However, we have the both options, so we're going to do that. For device IP, this is going to be our handy IPv4 address right over here. So what we want to do is go ahead and take that. So ours is 192.168.1.123 and enter it in there. Now for you, you may not have a place for a device IP. It might just be a list of all of the devices on your network. And in that case, you want to click on the device that is your computer, basically. You want to click on your computer from that list. Now at this point, we can go ahead and click save. We can click apply, all of that stuff on our router. But some of you may have an external IP. Device IP may have been called local IP or internal IP, and you might have an external IP or public IP listed here. If you do, what do? Well, don't worry, because everyone watching this video, even if you don't have that, need your public IP address, because that is how your friends and maybe even you can join your server. So let's go ahead and click on the description down below, whatsmyipaddress.com. It's going to take you here. This is then going to feed you back your IP address here. Specifically, we want your IPv4 address from here, your public IPv4 address. It's also listed over here. Now, for me, you can only see 211. You can also not see any information over here. There's a big black box on this side of the screen as well. Why is that? Because you can get your country, region, city, zip code, and even latitude and longitude coordinates from your IP address. That's why I was saying this is only for your friends and family, and to get an Apex server if you want a public server, because this is just giving out a ton of personal information, giving out your IP address. So as you can see, 211 at the end is all you can see of this. That's just so you know I'm not doing any trickery, that once we get into Minecraft, I'm entering the same IP there as I am getting here. So if you needed this for your port forward, go ahead, come over to your port forward, paste it in, and then go ahead and apply, okay, save it, whatever you need to do. And now we can go ahead and get rocking and rolling. The hard part of this, by the way, is finally done. There's one more thing we need to do before starting our server, and that is double clicking on the server.properties file here. For me, that opens automatically in Notepad. For you, you may have to select to open it in Notepad. Then you want to scroll down until you see server-IP, and then next to server-IP, just copy and paste your IPv4 address. This shouldn't have any spaces or anything like that next to it or anything. It just should be server-IP equals in your IPv4 address. Then go ahead and file, save your server.properties file, double click on the run.bat file, and we can go ahead and open up Minecraft. Once we've opened up Minecraft, we want to make sure we're selecting the Forge profile. To do that, click the little box down here in the bottom left of Minecraft. You'll see Forge here. It should say 1.15.1-Forge under it. Click on that and then click play. Now Minecraft 1.15.1 will open up with Forge, and your server will open up with Forge installed on it. At this point, I do want to mention that if you install any mods on your server, your friends, you, everybody will have to have those mods installed locally as well. On top of that, you are going to need to be able to install Forge. So you have to use a Forge profile to join a Forge server. Otherwise, it's not going to work. If you want to know how to install mods on your server, you can check out the eye at the top of your screen, the link in the description down below, or the link at the end of this video for how to install mods on a Forge server. We're going to be going over all of that in a separate video because this video is already over 20 minutes long. Nevertheless, once you're here, you want to go ahead and click on multiplayer. And what is that? The best Minecraft server in the multiverse. Play.breakdowncraft.com. Come play with us. We have grief protected survival, custom skyblock. You will absolutely love it. But now let's go ahead and click direct connect here. I'm going to be direct connecting to our public IP address. So if we paste that in there, you will still be able to see. Oh, I didn't copy it earlier. 1 second. Let me go copy our public IP address. That's a fail. There we go. I now have it copied. And if we paste it in here, you'll be able to see that 211. The same thing that we saw earlier on whatsmyipaddress.com is entered in here, except you can only see that 211 because, again, you don't want to give your public IP address out to everybody. Now let's go ahead and click join server here. And when we do, it will join us on in. Now, if you see this mismatched mod channel list, what that means is the mods you have installed locally aren't installed on the server. So if we come back over to here to the mods tab, you'll see I have packing tape, useful backpacks, all of that installed. Let me go ahead and uninstall that real quick, and then we'll go ahead and be able to join the server. So if I delete these mods and then restart Minecraft, I will be able to join the server. Let me go ahead and do that really quickly. There we go. Those mods are now uninstalled. If we go ahead and click on multiplayer, click on direct connect, again, you can see this is the same IP address, 211 at the end there. Click join server, and in real time, you'll see us join into our server over here on the Minecraft server console as well. So here we are in our server, right like so. Awesome stuff there, and yeah, looking good. Whoa, what is that? Hold on. Okay, so I want to go into creative here. To do that, I'm going to need to up myself on the server. So to do that, come over to your server console, type in OP, and then whatever your username is. Once you type that in, as you can see, it will say you've been made an operator, and now you can do things like go into game mode creative, because I want to fly over here and check this out real quick. That is really, really cool to have that kind of a village right off spawn. For those of you that want to know the seed, you can do that and get that there. But yeah, that is that. You now have a Forge server set up. Now, if for whatever reason you couldn't join your server off of your public IP address, that is okay, as long as your friends can join your server off of your public IP address. Why is that okay? Because you will be able to join your server off of your IPv4 address. Yes, that same IPv4 address that we use to port forward, that we put in the server.properties, all of that will be able to join your server with that as long as you're on the same computer as your server. Now, the reason you may not be able to join off of your public IP address, but your friends can, is because basically what you're asking your computer to do is send something out to the internet, right? Send something out to your ISP, have them decode it, and then send that back to you, right? So it's just basically a loop. And some ISPs don't like that. They don't allow that. So because of that, you need to make sure that you might not be able to join off of your public IP address, but you will be able to join off of your IPv4 address. Now, what if your friends can't join off of your public IP address? Well, in that case, there's probably an issue with your port forward, or there is a firewall on your router or on your computer blocking the connection. This could even be Windows Defender, and you may have to allow Minecraft and your server to go through Windows Defender. It could also be a firewall on your router, not allowing the port forward and allowing traffic in through that port forward. So yeah, there you all have it. That is how you can create a modded server. On your screen right now, you are seeing how to add mods to this server. I know everybody wants to add mods to their Minecraft server. We're going to be adding in packing tape and those awesome mods that I actually uninstalled. We're going to be adding those to this server here in that video. So go ahead, check out that video if you want to know how to add mods to your server. It is also in the description down below, and you can find it at the eye at the top of your screen. Thank you also so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Come play with us on play.breakdowncraft.com, the best Minecraft server in the multiverse. My name is Nick. This has been The Breakdown, and I am out. Peace.